Hi everyone, Terri Bemis here with WaterSong Creek Creations. And I just wanted to let you know at the beginning that for the next few videos, we're going to be doing something I'm calling Fun with Frames. I've got all different size frames, shapes, colors, and what we're working with on them are going to be mermaids, turtles, starfish, all kinds of seashells, crushed glass, abalone, and we're going to just be showing the variety of things you can make with frames. So I'll explain each video as we go through what exactly I'm using. Of course, it will always be my trusty ProGlas 1000 resin that I'll be using, and then just a variety of fun stuff to make some beautiful things that I hope you'll enjoy and want to follow along. All right, let's get started. I'm starting with a frame I got at Old Time Pottery. I was lucky enough to hit a 75% off sale, which is always fun. And I am putting the glass part of the frame on little 2-ounce cup risers. I get these little clear 2-ounce cups at Dollar Tree. I think they're 12 in a container for $1.25 now. I don't know if your area has gone to $1.25 yet, but I live in Florida and it did that back in December. So regardless, it's still a great deal. I put those cups at the very edge of the corners of the glass because I'm going to set the frame on it later, and I want resistance to be there so the frame sits all the way down against the resin. I'll get to that in a few minutes. But I have mixed up some ProGlas 1000 resin that is going to dry crystal clear, rock hard. It will not yellow unless you put it in the direct sun for a long period of time, and any resin on the planet is going to turn yellow if you put it in the direct sun over time, so think about that. Here I'm using a little tool that I have. It's the shape of a hand, and it really is great at being intentional about where you want to spread your resin. It's better than a craft stick or a stirring tool. That little flattened out hand just works well. And I could use my gloved hand to do that, but then you go through a lot of gloves, and I just don't like to go through a lot of gloves. A, they're not inexpensive. B, it's not eco-friendly, just throwing that plastic away glove after glove if you don't need to. It's faster. And you do have a bit more control when you're using your own fingers. You can feel how much resin you're pushing around, but I'm just not a fan of going through a lot of gloves unnecessarily. So once I get done, there are a few drips that have gone over the edge, and drips are a fact of life with resin. They're just going to happen, and there's ways you can deal with them. You can tape off a project first and then use your heat gun to soften that resin and lift the tape. Sometimes if they're just a few little drops, you can lift them up without having to use the heat gun. You can use a scraper tool like you'd get at the hardware store. Again, you'd have to heat the resin first. Little safety tip, never ever heat resin without wearing a respirator, because the chemical change that takes place can be toxic. So always wear your respirator. There are going to be bubbles. I don't care how carefully you stir your resin, so I was just torching the bubbles there. And before I get started, I want to lay my frame back over the glass for two reasons. Number one, that's going to adhere the frame to the glass with the resin. There will likely be drips on the back when you do that. And again, you can use your heat gun and scrape them off. You can use a sander. I prefer not to use a sander when I'm doing frames in glass. Generally, I'll use the heat gun to warm the resin and use the scraper tool to get it off. This turtle I got, I think I bought it at Michael's. Yes, I did. No. I got that at Hobby Lobby. I think it was in the vicinity of $17, and I got it when they were 50% off. And then my crushed glass, I always use the Ashland crushed glass. It's a tempered glass, so they're not sharp edges that are going to cut you when you're working with it. These don't go on sale very often. I've just recently, and this is the middle of April, I've just recently found the clear glass and the pink glass on sale. I guess periodically they run seasonal sales, and they're considering spring colors. And these bags are normally $6.99 for 24 ounces. You can use a 20% off coupon. At Michael's, they do honor the 20% off on the crushed glass. The white and the pink right now are on sale for $2.79. So I really stocked up on those. The beauty of the clear glass is you can put some in a Ziploc and either use acrylic paint or some kind of alcohol ink and just put a few drops in the bag with some crushed glass, seal it shut, and work that glass around, and all of that color will go into the glass. So if you buy the clear glass, you can make any color you want, and it's wonderful because whatever your project, you can color match exactly the color. But this that I'm using is the blue crushed glass, the light blue crushed glass, and it's pretty fine. It's pretty finely crushed. But that's what I'm using on this one. The turtle, I love this turtle because the legs of the turtle are a gold with silver showing through. And it was the same with the frame. And it just happened. I didn't plan it that way because I got the two pieces from two different stores, Old Time Pottery and Hobby Lobby. But it just worked that they matched beautifully. And I didn't really want to busy this piece up too much because the turtle on its own with that gold and the silver was elegant looking, and I just wanted that piece to stand on its own. When I set it on the glass, I wanted to make sure that the four legs were touching the resin, pretty immersed in the resin actually, so that the piece would be secured to the frame once it was finished. So you saw me moving it around, just trying to move some of the glass and get it down onto the glass frame. And then I'm going to go back in and fill around the edges where that push the glass around. Another thing you want to do when you're working with a piece, you're looking at it straight down. And when you hang it up, you're going to be looking at it from different angles. Again, I'm moving the glass around so that piece gets down into the resin and gets adhered. That's a naughty starfish, Knotty. It's not a bad starfish. It's naughty. You want to look at your piece from different angles, and then you want to take a picture of it straight down, because every angle you look at it is going to be different, and you want to make sure that the glass is filled in on all sides. This one, only the four legs of the turtle, and legs is probably not the right word, are touching, so there's a lot of the turtle that's raised up off the glass, and if you're hanging it up, you're going to be looking at it from a different angle, so you want to make sure some of that glass goes under the turtle so you don't see empty spots underneath. I'm using just two larger shells at the bottom, and then I'm using limpets. I just love limpets. They're on the inside of the shell, the concave part, It's a gorgeous dark teal with little black dots. It's just so pretty. And here I'm just using a brush a bristle brush to wipe away the glass that has scattered around, cleaning up the piece. You also want to go on the inside edges of the frame and make sure nothing is sticking at an odd angle and laying down nicely. And then I just fill in any blank spots. When this piece is done and you hold it up to the light, any blank spots you have are going to show through. So you want to make sure that's covered. Here's the finished piece out in the sunlight. I took that to a craft show over in Daytona Beach, and it was one of the first pieces that sold. Very, very elegant piece. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in.